Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Jessica Lopez. I am a member of the Q Project and I'm also a UC Merced student. I am currently studying sociology with a minor in cognitive science. I've been with the Q Project for about 3 years and I've been the secretary for the Q Project 2 years now, starting on my third. A little bit about myself. I am a city girl. I come from a large city and I study at UC Merced. Um, like I said, I've been with the Q Project for a while now, and we have been able to both manage the world of professionalism, projects, and finding ways to uh, expand on everyone's strengths and ensure that to become a job opportunity, which is great. I think that's awesome. Anyways, today's topic is about strategies for learning, for at home learning. Um, again, to give you some context, I'm a first generation student. I am a Latina woman. I am proud to be a first generation because it does give you a bunch of opportunities and it opens your world and expands your horizons, right? It lets you see what things are out there that possibly you would never get in um, at your home. A lot of the times, for example, at my home, um, there's gender stereotypes and a lot of gender roles that we have to fall into, even if we're studying. So, being a first generation is a wonderful opportunity. However, there is a lot of struggles with it as well. And being a first generation in college, that is a, a lot of difficulties come with that. We have to figure out how to stay true to our culture and having no one to help us understanding how classes are, how to read properly in the terms of how do I read 3 essays. And I'm talking about, uh, peer reviewed essays and how to effectively write a research paper or how to effectively write a term paper, which I do a lot as a sociology student, excuse me. I do a lot of that. So I don't have a lot of people to go to when it comes to understanding how to manage classes, how to manage school. And I understand that at the moment, because of the pandemic, a lot of us are going to have to understand how to manage it on our own. Because many of the times when we're in person, we can go talk to a professor, a staff, or other students, or we seek videos just like this one. We seek them and we try to understand how can we pass a class or how to manage our classes, which can be very difficult. However, I want to explain a strategy to use because I know that being at home a lot of times doesn't mean sitting back, doesn't mean I'm going to just do homework and that's all I'm focused on. Um, the struggles with virtual education both hurts the student and the teacher. The teacher won't be able, or teacher slash professor won't be able to properly engage with the students, and the students might have questions that don't get answered until 2, 3 days later when maybe the assignment is due. Um, so I wanted to just get some strategies for you guys to understand. I know that a lot of the times, like I said, we can't just sit down and do homework at home. I know in my household, being a Latina woman, I'm kind of put in a position where I need to, help my family both in cooking and cleaning up or something like that. And many of the times I need to turn in an assignment, but I can't because I have to do this other thing. I have to prioritize this other thing. However, time management is the best thing a student can have, in my opinion, right? And I want to show you how to time manage your classes so that your classes can, uh, so that you can effectively pass your classes. We want to get above a C. A lot of students reach for a C, but I want to show you a way to at least get a B or go beyond and really, for a student who's really trying, but it's difficult to understand how to manage virtual. So I want to actually bring up, I will place the links to any of my sources at the bottom as well, just because I feel like that's the best way to do it. And so that you guys know what's going on. I actually wanted to show you this chart that I recently read about, and it shows that Latino students are actually the highest leading population in the UC system. So what I'm showing you at the moment is that we are currently 36% of the UC system. That is crazy. This is again, this is I think for 2020. We've had the highest admittance rate as a UC system, and I believe out of the 12% or the 12% increase in admissions, uh, 28,600 students are Latinos, right? Um, and again, basing it off of my experience as a Latino woman, it's really hard to be doing classes and managing family. So again, as you can see, we're here, we're UC system, and a lot of us are trying, and a lot of us, again, a lot of students who got accepted, who are part of this 33%, um, a lot of us are Latinos, but because of the pandemic, now we're struggling not just with understanding college, coming into a class and understanding college, but we're also struggling with understanding college virtually. Um, so here's my strategy. I wanted just to show you guys that really quick. I want to show you what I do to, effectively manage my classes. I'm not saying this is going to be an A. I'm not saying you're going to be able to pass any class all the time, but I'm showing you how to effectively manage your time and how to understand what you're being asked for in class and how to make sure that you get the best grade you can, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you to a point where finals aren't a struggle. Finals aren't you know, um, and all-nighters. Finals are just, another thing that we need to manage, and we will teach you how to manage this. At least on my perspective, this is how I do it. So what you're seeing right now is an image of my wall. This is what I call my study wall. Here you can see there's a calendar. There's some sort of other calendar here, a document, and then there's a to-do list, right? So what I do in my classes, I first read the syllabus. Of course, please, 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 please read your syllabus. I know a lot of professors are like, oh, read your syllabus. It's going to give you all the information you need. Just do it. Actually, I've a quick, little thing, experience I had was I didn't read the syllabus for one of my classes. I thought, oh, it's like an easy class. I'm not going to read the syllabus. We had a test, and he had actually inputted one of the test questions onto the syllabus. I think it was under the honor policy, the honest policy. I'm sorry. Um, and obviously, a lot of teachers or professors want you to read that part. So he actually put an answer to a question. I think it was like, you know, um, for question 5 on exam 1, select B, and then on your exam it was like, it was just a question that was like A, B, C, but just the letters, and someone, who obviously doesn't know what's going on is like, oh, I'm gonna pick A, I'm gonna pick D, I don't know, right? But for the person who read the syllabus, they'll know that, hey, I have to pick B, right? So that's just a quick little thing, an anecdote, about an experience when you don't read the syllabus, and that's just, because a lot of professors want you to read the syllabus, so they'll do that. They'll find ways to kind of push you to read the syllabus. I want to show you here the calendar. So what I do is I actually plot. These are the days being counted down. It's just a fun way for me to just be like, oh, cool, we're almost done with the semester. But I actually color code everything. So this one's actually in blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, and so on. And I write down my exam dates because it's very important to know what you're gonna do next week. Understanding how you're going to manage your week, and if I have an exam, for example, here I had an exam one day after the other. That means on this week I'm going to start to study maybe for exam 2. On this week I'll be studying exam for 149, and so on, so that I have enough time to study for both, and I have enough time to fully understand the concept before I go into the exams not knowing anything. And I'm going to talk further about exams and how you can kind of play the game per se, right? So that's a calendar. I actually also print out a schedule. This is not how my schedule comes out on my student portal, but I do print it out color coded. Again, I'm a visual person, so I like knowing yellow is this, and I'm gonna connect it. I know really quick. I can see the wall, and I know, okay, this is what times I need to be here, or what times are canceled. So for example, from 1 to 2 I have answer 149. That means I'm going to cancel that time, and what am I gonna do in the morning? This is the afternoon class, right? So what am I gonna do in the morning? I start thinking about that. I start planning, and since I have Friday off, I could either have a day off and just enjoy my weekend, or I can do work on Friday to advance for Monday. So always, understand where you are on a weekly basis. On the bottom here, this is the biggest trick I have. So what I do after I read my syllabus, I actually make a little Word document. And in the Word document, I divide it into 3 sections: the teacher's info, the grading system, and the notes. Notes are mostly notes for me to understand where I can be. So, for example, here, Social 38, I would have, I kind of blurred this out just because privacy reasons, and I understand that these are still active emails, active phone numbers, and active rooms that I won't feel comfortable sharing with to the world, especially because these are my actual teachers, my actual professors, excuse me. So here, for Social 38, the grading. So participation and attendance, 15%. Tweets and response to shorts videos, she would make us tweet. And film reflections, online reading quizzes and activities, and weekly writing assignments. Um, and then sometimes it would be like, oh, you can only do 2 makeups of an assignment, or you can only be marked up late. You can only if you turn in an assignment late, you'll only earn 50%, or every day late will subtract 10% from your assignment. So just beware. I do that. I write a little note for myself, and no final for your course. That's awesome, right? No final. But that means all of this is going to have so much weight on it as well. So for this one, actually, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on here. It's a little blurry, sorry for that. But so participation is 15%, right? 15%. Let's say 50%. We want 50% of what we already have. We want 50% to be done before we get to the final. Okay, so 20% for film reflections, 20% for online reading quiz. That's 40% together, right? Quizzes, I usually try to stay away from them, and then just kind of as we go through them, we start, looking at it and seeing, oh, okay, maybe I can pass this quiz with X amount of points. But I focus on film reflection, that's 20%, and then weekly writing assignments. It's a weekly assignment. Just put a reminder on your phone or on your computer if you're going to be on your computer for a bunch of time. And, that's what, 55% of your grade already completed without having to do any finals. That's 55% of your grade. That means you're going to have at least an F if you get a 0 in participation and attendance, and a 0 on online quizzes, and a 0 on tweets, right? So tweets, what are they? They're up to 100 characters. really quick, really easy to do. 10%. Now you're up to 60%. Participation and attendance. So this professor actually took attendance 5 minutes before the class. So you would have to be there before the class, sit down, ready to go at the moment of the class. She would take attendance before the class and then get ready. And I think like she spared 1 or 2, 3 minutes when the class started, and you would just write your name down, and she marked you present. But that's 15% literally just given to you. That's something that you can use to your advantage. So at the moment, since everything is virtual, a lot of professors are going to start looking into participation. Having you be in the Zoom meeting, having your camera web on, or understanding, that you have to be present for class and listening to what they're doing. And sometimes they'll ask, a weekly question or a question of the day that everyone will be marked for as attendance. So that is points that you can earn easily. Now, let's look at this. We have 15% here, 10% here, that's 25. Then we have 20 here, that's 45, and then 35, that's 75% of your grade completed, without taking in account the 20% for online quizzes and activities. So I always, like I said, keep quizzes at the end, because in a quiz or a final or an exam, you can, the first quiz you might not do as well and you get shocked, but the other points that are technically easy points, quote unquote, just because sometimes, maybe the weekly writing assignment is a 2-page a 2-page summary on a book, so that's a little bit difficult, but making the most of your points, I guess that's what I'm trying to get to. So same with this one, as you can see, just having notes at 40 points, 40 points. That's a lot. No finals or tests, which, I guess I didn't have 2 finals for my classes, which is awesome. But there's no late assignments. And assignments are 2 points weekly, right? So for a month, I would be needing to have at least 8 points, right? And those are, again, easy because you can just have assignment, or notes. Here, for example, notes. Just being in class and taking notes gives you a point. That's easy points right there between those two. I'm not sure if they added above the 40 points here, but it's, I guess, again, it's substantially a large amount of points per semester, which means you will have a method of not falling under a D or a C, And what I do is I also, put extra credit. So for example, this professor said you get extra credit if you participate in a SONA research. So hey, why not do that? If I have extra time in my classes, again, like you saw on my schedule, I had Fridays off. On Friday, might just do one of those, and I get an extra 1% grade, which means if I have an 80, let's say the range from B plus to B is from B to B plus is from 80 to 85. That 1% can give me a B plus by going to 86. You see what I'm saying here? And so if you're at an 89, that 1% can actually get you to a 90, which means you'll get an A in that class. And that's practically what I did. And I believe I got an A in that class. This is a point-based. This one included a lab, right? Just showing up to the lab or doing whatever is being asked for you as a lab assignment. And as you can see on my notes, the 2 lowest participation grades will be excused. That means you have a leeway of 2 absences. Participation are usually conjuncted with attendance. So there's 2 days that you can, take for yourself. You can either take it for a fun thing, take it for a self-care day, or take it just because they're there, you can do that. However, understand that these can be, obviously the difference between getting full credit and getting not full credit, right? Um, and attendance for this one, as you can see, is required. So being there, just sitting down on the chair is required. And you would get, if I'm not mistaken, here you get 14 points for just sitting down on a chair and maybe raising your hand and saying, hey, I don't understand what you were talking about when you said X, Y, and Z. And they'll, explain you got your participation points. Um, all these things, like I said, they add up. Just try to stay managed. So that's what I'm gonna tell you right here with the to-do list. I got a little up animation here, but for the to-do list, I wrote down what assignments I had to write and what the dates were, right? So what I did is I referenced the calendar here, I referenced that, and I wrote little poster cards here. I didn't have post-it notes, so I put index cards with tape. But I wrote the name of the class, write assignment, October 4th, anthro, critical critique, October 10th. So you can see these are very close together, and that's what's keeping me like on check. By October 4th, I need to have this. Like, that's an extra, hey, look at me, um, do this now. So this is my next week, and so on, right? Until we have the writing, the cognitive science written assignment, do this, and the social 15 term paper, do this, anthro term paper, do this date, and data and methods, do this date, right? So all these we're slowly taken off day by day when I would finish an assignment. That just, it's a little reward for me, and thinking of it as like, oof, okay, one step closer, one step closer, one day. Again, like I said with this, was okay, one day less, awesome, awesome, we're getting there. And soon you realize you're what, more than almost half of the semester in, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, I guess I can do this. So that's my strategy to getting an effective grade, to effectively looking at your grade and understanding, hey, I can actually pass this class without mortifying myself. And a lot of the times we do mortify ourselves, and we're like, oh God, we need to pass this final, we need to make sure that it's all good, and we need to understand every concept, because a lot of the finals are cumulative. Um, and it's hard to study. I know for me it is, and it's going to be even harder now that you're going to be at home. So I wanted to share this, to become an effective student, to become a student who is well time managed and is able to um, prioritize school, but at the same time still, um, be able to enjoy school, and be okay with school, instead of thinking of school as such a burden to oneself. And again, being virtual is going to make everything difficult, not just for you as a student, but also for the teacher. So a lot of the times, communication is going to be important. And understanding how you learn. So a tip before we leave is, I actually write my notes. A lot of students, when even in person, they kind of just type their notes, tuk, 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 tuk. And it's easy. It's easy to just write your notes. You're paying attention, but it's also easy to distract yourself. So be wary of that. If you're easy to be distracted, you can always turn on focus mode or do not disturb mode on your laptop. But writing, actually, in my cognitive science class, I learned that writing actually makes it for the information to actually process better and stay in your memory a little bit longer, so that you can understand every concept that's coming out. A lot of students I know actually type and then write out their notes. What I do is, if I see that on my first exam, I try to do everything typed out. Everything, all my classes are typed out. And if on my first exam I see that I didn't do so good, I want to do better. And again, um, those exams, you can always, shift them around depending on how you're doing in the class in general. Again, points are your friends. Try to get as many points, even if it's just an extra credit of taking a picture or writing, creating a poster. Do it. Extra credits are your friends. So writing it out actually makes you process it better. I just want to leave you with that. If you can write your notes, it's gonna stay in your head for longer. So, um, yeah, I just wanted to say that, share that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hoped it was, somewhat informational, if not at all. I hoped you were entertained. Thank you very much and have a great rest of your day.